post. My 36 female sister died 6 months ago from a heart condition. She practically raised me, so it's been difficult to deal with. I'm in my final year of university and have failed every single class this semester. She'd be disappointed, but that is what it is. My sister never married, never had children. I lived with her near campus. She ran her successful side business. I got to help her occasionally as a paid intern. She worked a lot, but not to support us. She wanted to retire by the time she was 40. She would have done in 4 years, and her heart had to fail her first. When she died, her attorney read her will to me. She had left everything to me. She had a generous amount of money put away for her retirement and side accounts for various activities for her retirement. I did not know that she had made several real estate investments so she could continue to live a comfy lifestyle once she retired. She left her 2006 Subaru to me and willed her current house to me as well. She left nothing to my parents, but as they didn't know, she had assets. They willingly paid for the funeral and any other associated costs. My sister was no contact with her parents, and I'm very low contact. We are their only 2 children. At the funeral, my parents asked me how I was going to continue going to college without her money. LOL, they thought she paid for them. Psych, I have student debt. I told them that I'd continue to take out loans. They asked me about my living arrangements and I shrugged. At the time, I didn't know about all the details anyway. Well, 2 weeks ago, I found out my parents tried to sell my sister's house while I still lived there. They brought a realtor and toured her home and everything. It was all on the cameras set up in the home. When I called them and informed them that I'd be calling the police, they explained the situation. I told them it's my home and it was willed to me. They couldn't sell it. They were confused heavily. I told them to meet my attorneys and set up a time. Cue today. My attorney explained the will to my parents. My mother went white as a sheet, and my father was grumbling about suing me for his rightful money plus the cost of the funeral. My mother began ugly sobbing, telling the attorney he was wrong. Her daughter would not leave the house to someone like me. The attorney cut the meeting short, and now we're preparing for the inevitable lawsuit coming my way. I just want to sleep and avoid all this. Just some added info. My mom is a stay-at-home mom, but like the kind who spends her day at the country club, not the involved kind. Dad is a businessman and is typically on business trips for weeks at a time. They live, as they call it, lower upper class. Now for the top of comments before reading the update. Imagine losing your child and being mad about not getting money from it? Sounds like the type of parents to be left out of a will to me. That and the fact that OP's sister raised him. When my daughter died, I got a $10,000 insurance payout. It took a long time before I could cash that check. It felt like blood money or the worst possible bribe. One of the worst things I ever had to do was come to terms with that. Reminds me of a "today I screwed up" from a banker. Lady walks in with a thousands of dollar check. Banker, trying to make small talk, says, "Wow, I wish I had one of these." Lady says, "It's a life insurance check. I'd rather have my husband." Now for the first update. First update. I didn't expect this to blow up, to be honest. Thank you everyone for the support. I've gotten to read almost all the comments and I feel a lot less anxious now. I did talk to my professors and 4 of the 6 of them gave me extensions, but the other 2 were being jerks about it. It's fine though. I did sign up for school's grief group. I just got done changing all my locks too. Thanks to everyone who helped me with the home stuff as well. I'll be sure to watch the home insurance bill and get a financial advisor or something. My sister's degrees and mine are in the same field, so I'll be continuing her business as well. And I'll need a real estate attorney to redo the leases on her other rentals, I guess. I don't know, it's overwhelming. Since this keeps coming up, I stupidly gave them a key a few months after she passed. I didn't know they'd even be trying this until after the fact. The will doesn't say anything about them, but I'm leaving it up to the attorney to figure everything out. I'll be paying them regardless for the cost of the funeral, celebration of life, etc. Second update, my father stated he will not challenge the will, but warned us Mother is still going to try. He said to the attorney, not to me, that despite his best efforts, To convince her, she is saying mental health issues will prevent them from doing what needs to be done. My sister's best friend Amy has looped in since Mother will be challenging the will, which she is a part of. She's been amazing and I'm very happy she's around. She used to live with Sister and I, but left when she died, not because I wanted her to. She just said that it was hard being in our home. But she decided to come back after all this. I told my attorney that since my sister had set aside for a funeral anyway, I should offer to at minimum pay them back. They, Amy and the attorney, both agreed it would be a good idea so my parents won't have a leg to stand on in court. Attorney has another meeting scheduled with my father on Friday or Monday, depending on his availability. Things are going fast, and I didn't expect them to go this fast. It's like my head is spinning. As for school, had a meeting with the dean and my academic advisor. Finals are next week, so they thankfully moved it up. I explained the situation to them, and they were apologetic and let me know they had talked to my teachers. The dean got back to me today and said that the teachers were unwilling to compromise, and ultimately it was up to them. He suggested that I get a withdrawal from the classes, so I'll drop those classes. I'm taking a semester break as a lot of you suggested. Oh, and for the Reddit user who said to offer free housing for the first year as a scholarship, Amy thought it would be a great way to honor my sister. Not sure the process for that, but Amy said that she'd help me figure it out once I'm out of school. I'm happy Amy is back at home. Doesn't feel quite as empty as it did before. I'll update again if there's any other developments, but for now, I'm going to log out and let my attorney handle this. Thank you everyone for the advice. Third update. I wanted to keep it mostly vague, but update you all. We settled prior to court for an undisclosed amount. She agreed to drop some things, example slander, if I agreed to drop some things, example emotional distress. Side note, those were just examples and most definitely not the things we discussed. We both came to the agreement that I could post whatever I want. Dad pushed the whole freedom of speech stuff. I said I wouldn't let her take a dime from me, but honestly, I was just too exhausted from it. I can't go into much detail, but I may make a new account and start posting all the shit my mother has put me through since everyone, by everyone I mean my parents, knows about this one now. Amy is still being a kick-ass mama bear, and I was looking into adult adoption or at minimum changing my last name to hers. I want no ties to my parents. Anyway, thanks for the support and love. P.S. Yes, my father has been refunded for anything funeral related. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for kicking my son's girlfriend out of her house? My husband, 58 male, and I, 56 female, recently met my son's, 24 male, girlfriend for the first time. He's been crazy about her. Apparently, they've been dating for a year before he decided to have her meet us officially. What he's told us about her all seems great. She's got her degree, was enjoying her job, family-oriented, etc. I'm honestly just happy he's happy with her. My husband and I don't think he's ever been this into someone before, so I feel pretty bad about what I did. Last weekend, he brought her over for dinner. By now, we had been anticipating meeting her with how much our son has been gushing about her, how perfect she is, that she's the one, in his words. They ring the doorbell, we open the door. She looks exactly like her pictures, which is a great start. My son is grinning ear to ear, another great start. We invite them in, she accepts my hug and a firm handshake from my husband, and then she opens her mouth. I'm the one your son puts his penis in. To be frank, I was appalled. I expected my husband to laugh. Both he and my son are jokesters, and as annoying as it can be, I love it. But this was just too much for me. Maybe I'm reserved, but of all things she could have shared about my son, she told us that. One look at my face, and my husband knew how much I disapproved. Maybe I let my expectations get too high, and it's unfair to have them, but I reiterate, of all things to say to her boyfriend's parents, whom she'd never met, she chose that. My son was amused at first, but when he noticed my reaction, his face dropped. I felt like he sold me the full package, everything he had always been looking for in a girlfriend. I was too disturbed by the visual to put it in my head, and it translated into anger. I told her to get out. I wanted to say more about how gross it made me feel, but I fortunately left it at that. My son didn't want to go, insisting I give her another chance, but I was too fed up and uncomfortable by this point. Even my husband, who's enjoyed his fair share of raunchy jokes, wouldn't let up. They left and I immediately felt guilty. This was something my son had really looked forward to, and I feel that I took that away over a dumb joke. I tried calling to apologize, but he hasn't responded. My husband thinks she's the one who should apologize. I'm considering giving her another chance, but before I do, was I the a-hole? Now for the advices. Not the a-hole. I'm pretty liberal and open-minded, but FFS, I'd never lead with that meeting with my boyfriend's parents for the first time, or say that ever. Like, seriously? You'd open the door and that's what flies out of her mouth? Was she nervous? Did she seem embarrassed at all? Did she try to apologize? Is there anything that could explain her inappropriate outburst? You apologized. Wow, hats off to you. Neither of you can do anything to change what happened. It's up to her to accept the apologies or not. Don't beat yourself up. If she is decent at all, she'll understand. If she's not, then maybe good riddance. Edit. If she doesn't call back to apologize or explain, if there's anything to explain, I hope your son dumps her, and also good riddance. It's more than what she said. If you had apologized, it's also about her desire to meet you in the middle. You, the mother of the boyfriend she loves. Grace goes both ways. You extended yours by apologizing. If she was offended, she should do the same. Right. Me and so can be inappropriate as hell, but to come out with that the first time that you meet the parents? Jesus Christ. Why would anyone ever say that to their boyfriend's parents? Laughing my ass off. Randomness has been the dominant pop culture trait for teenagers forever, and especially recently with the TikTok challenges. I was pretty raunchy when I was a teenager, but this would have never crossed my mind to do. The girl either has massive balls or severe anxiety. That's all for today. If you're enjoying this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you.